Hey everyone, and welcome out to a game a month 3, which is July. No, it's June.
It's June.
2018.
It is July now, though.
It's July now, just to throw me off.
Ooh.
I'm, of course, Hugo Gizmo, joined as always and forever by Chris Pengelly,
Hello, everyone.
Peter James Morris,
In the flesh.
in the flesh. This is a
Well,
three-way dance.
Yeah.
Oh.
The only time so far we've all been in the same
I
room.
know, it's disgusting. It's 30 degrees in here.
Three-
Three big dudes.
Sweating balls.
And the reason we're here sweating our balls is to talk about Jade Empire for the original Xbox, the Xbox One back compat, the Xbox 360 back compat,
and
and the personal computer,
also iOS version and stuff.
and on like phones.
Oh, we're not going to fucking care about
And
iOS
on
version,
the-
are we,
no
though?
one cares about
the
mobile.
Casio CF4 calculator. So, Jade Empire was
My
your
pick.
choice, Christopher Pengelly.
Yes.
It's a game. It came out in 2005
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
by the mighty Bioware.
It certainly did.
So, Chris, I want you to talk just a little bit about the premise of the game.
Yeah. It is a action RPG set in like mythological ancient China. Would be the best.
It's a good save. I didn't know where you were going with that one, but it's a good save.
Yeah. Oh well. Where else would it be set?
A fantastical setting.
Oh, fantastical. Yeah, sure. But it does like play on some Chinese like legends and myths and stuff.
It's also weirdly steampunk though, isn't it? Because there's like flying ships and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and like water dragons.
Things like that. I picked the game I said in the previous episode. If you've not listened to that one,
Which you should have, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
should have. But like I said, I picked it. I've played the game before when it first came out. It was one of the last original Xbox games I played because it's only just come out before the 360 a couple of months before, and it was in like my top like 25 games of all time. So I wanted to play.
So there was no bias going into this.
No,
Absolutely
none at
none
all. No.
So I wanted to go back to it and see if it's still held up after 13 years, and obviously you two never played it before, which is like the whole point of this.
Yes. So to kick off the first section of first impression, what do we play it on? So I played it on the Xbox One S.
I played it
not
on the
X, right?
Xbox One X.
And I played it on the actual original Xbox One as a pre-installed downloadable thing.
So I think overall, my first impression is it actually looks pretty good. The 4x3 still winds me up because I just can't believe that we used to play games like that. But texture-wise, it looks really good. Actually, I think it looks like an early 360 game, especially on the S. I thought
On the
better.
X, it definitely looks like an early 360 game. We just said it's 360 launch time. The only issues are, I'm pretty sure the cutscenes
are pre-rendered.
Are pre-rendered,
Yeah.
so they don't look better.
They do look funny because you can tell that in the original game you're supposed to transition.
Yeah.
So like they'll do a camera shot and then they'll transition to what would be play models. So obviously the movies
All the same.
Yeah, but they have to have. There's a different movie for each of the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like as we didn't say at the beginning, you can pick a character. So my character, because I went for what's he called, Lou.
Yeah.
I went for the balanced dude. Did you both go for Purple Girl by any chance?
No, because I haven't played it in the first time. I got I played it as a Radiant Gen Z.
I went whoever the
Is that the
main character is on the box. I thought, fuck it, I'll play her.
Yeah, that's the one that most people go as.
Yeah.
Who
Blue
looks-
the Lost Lotus Blossom.
Yeah, who looks mysteriously like Dawnstar. It's weird to me how
This-
similar they look.
Yeah.
I can't remember the tangent, but yeah, so it looks pretty good. I think we're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, very
The problem
impressed.
is it's 4x3.
Yeah, that is an issue.
I know it's slightly off topic. As
You,
recording
Chris, off
of
topic.
this, Shimu 1 and 2 HD just been announced. The gameplay is going to be 16:9, but the cutscenes are still going to be 4x3.
I feel like
That's going to be really jarring.
surely that's lazy. Come on, man.
They
Like,
said they can't.
they haven't
do
got.
it.
They just don't have those files anymore.
Probably deleted, yeah.
Oh,
That was a
so
long
they
time
They
ago.
just stretch them.
Yeah.
That's
That would look so weird,
Yeah,
though.
but come on, man. Anyway, we're not talking about Shenmue.
No,
this
but
week.
it's just
this
like-
is Jade Empire, back on top.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about how that's quite a big issue, and I can see that being worse
Yeah.
when the game transfers between the two.
Cool. So what we'll do first is we'll do first impressions. This time we're going to do Pete because Chris has actually played the most. You all sit down on the forum. I know you've all fallen over, but Chris Pengelly has played the most. It's still not much, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. He completed it.
With all of my air quotes, air quotes and everything.
So for me, it was again. I know I played it before.
You haven't played Mass Effect. This is a really important.
No, I've played
preface.
Mass Effect 1. I haven't
Right,
played
okay.
2 or 3. I like Mass Effect
Or Andromeda. Let's not all forget
1.
about
Or
Andromeda.
Andromeda. What's Andromeda?
What about Dragon Age?
I haven't played Dragon Age.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You'd really like Dragon Age.
I haven't played Dragon Age, any of them. So for me, I know what Bioware games are like.
Kotal?
I've played KOTOR a little bit.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
literally.
man.
So for me, like I'm
you're a fresh babe.
I am. Like I appreciate Bioware games, but I'm not a Bioware fanboy in any shape or form. So I went in very unbiased to this. I'll be honest. My first impressions, I thought it looked great. I was taken aback by a lot of American actors playing ethnic characters, especially after Yakuza, which had, of course, ethnic characters
Like
and ethnic voice actors.
20 minutes of Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, Nathan Fillion, I love you, but what the fuck are you doing in a Chinese man's body? And you're being a bad man.
It's such a weird role.
It was very strange. So that kind of threw me a bit. So it kind of gets you going with the story, and it was a bit slow, and I was like, okay, what's happening with this? And then it gives you combat. And I won't go into this too much now because we're going to talk about this later. But let's just say I played the combat for about an hour, died far too many times on what they consider normal, and didn't touch it for about 3 weeks. So that was my first impressions of Jade Empire.
So before we get into the combat and great, I'll do mine.
Yeah, we'll go around. That was my first impression.
So mine is very similar, but I'm much more of a Bioware hardcorer, I guess, to sound really snobbish. The only one I haven't played is Andromeda. So I played both the KOTOR games. I played the Mass Effect trilogy. I've played the Dragon Age trilogy. I've played Knights of the Old Republic Online. Like, I'm a big Bioware guy, and it feels like a Bioware game. Pardon?
You a Bioware guy?
I know. Like, it's just, I've got all these books over there about Mass Effect and stuff. Like, I'm a big but it plays like those games. So it has exactly the same structure. The opening is nearly identical to all of them. You are the chosen one, as per fucking usual. You're trained by some dude, as per fucking usual. Yeah. You've got a random hot chick pretty early on, as per usual.
Yeah.
And then there's a giant thing that happens, as per usual.
Yeah.
So it does you can see, because this is their first their own IP.
Yeah.
So you can see the feelers for Mass Effect and Dragon Age in this game. For me, my first impression was that the setting's great. The setting is by far the
because
start.
you don't see many games in that sort of
Certainly
setting.
not in 2005.
No.
And I think that I'm actually really disappointed that there's not been a sequel or a remake of this, purely out of setting, because I think the setting's great because it's a Western Eastern game.
Yes.
Yakuza was an Eastern game.
Yeah.
So that has the good and the bad. So it's culturally, like I said, it's culturally accurate because it's made in the East, so they know what it was like in the, you know what I mean? It's got the Japanese actors and all that kind of stuff, and that works really well. This doesn't have that, but because it has that kind of what was the Legacy of the West kind of fantasy element too, with the flying mechanical objects and the dragons and the ghosts and the monsters and stuff, it feels really unique. Even now, it feels really unique. We're going to talk about it at length in a minute, but combat was my biggest issue. It wasn't that much big issue at the beginning. I've got to say, I didn't die much at the beginning. We'll get to it, but it's in the group stuff that it's really an issue. Mm-hmm. But Chris, you just tell me what you think.
See, I had no problem whatsoever with the combat. I think it was you trying to put forth Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes, I did.
And I vetoed that because I played it fairly recently when you mentioned it. And one of the main reasons I vetoed that is the game looks grey and drab now, even on the One X, because you go through it. But one of the reasons I vetoed it was due to the combat system. Was so
well, that's clunkier, isn't it?
It's so clunky.
Oh, jeez.
Knights of the Republic. It does play more like a Warcraft game. You get your bar and you pick your like an MMO. You pick your attack and then it happens on screen. But it just felt really out of place in that sort of game. With Jade Empire, I started the character Gen Z instead of Lotus Blossom, and I mainly just used the one. She's a fast character as well, so she can dodge and leap over characters and that, and do a Dark Souls roll type thing. But I mainly just used the one combat style 1,000 cuts, which I totally maxed out, so I could kill people with one hit.
Hit like a brick.
Yeah, sort of thing. And then I only ever changed to there's one that drains the blue thing.
It's like Spirit Vendor.
Which you can use to heal. So I had one of them as one of my blinked, and I had the ice shards, so I could freeze a powerful component of high level, so I could freeze them, do my X attack with her, and literally destroyed the opponent in one hit because I just used that one thing. I did the similar when I played it first time. I used Leaping Tiger, which is the one with the claws, so you're a bit like Wolverine, but it doesn't count as a weapon style. It's an actual martial arts style, even though you got the claws. And that was quite basically they're all the quick sort of characters. Because you two, I think, said the game was a bit slow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's because it's the characters you picked, where
Possibly.
like I picked her and she was like way quicker than what I remember. And I was leaping all over the place with like you press the B and you can like jump. Like you can still block, but I just found it easier to just do like the dodge roll and jump and then get them from behind.
So as we're on it, we'll just talk about combat.
Oh, we're going there straight away.
So
we're not doing dislikes, just straight into the combat.
We're gonna do it differently this week. We're gonna talk about some aspects of the game, and then we're gonna do a verdict at the end. I mean, that's because otherwise we just ramble for the same thing for like an hour. So we'll start with combat. Everything I'm about to say.
Yeah.
The style thing is cool. The issue that I had with it is that it feels like they're very specific, but not in a good way. So like in The Witcher, you have to use your silver sword to kill monsters and your sword to kill human enemies. And it doesn't really affect the way the game plays. You just have to use different items and that kind of stuff. And I think that's better. In this, like some of them are drastically less fun than others. I found myself pretty much using the sword pretty much the whole way through. The like 6 or 7 big enemies I encountered, I froze with the shard and then switched to the sword.
You have to do that tactic.
And then when I run out of ki, I used chi. Sorry, ki is fucking Dragon Ball Z. But once I ran out of chi, I used the Spirited Vengeance. But I found that the boring combat one against Ghost was slow, and I found that the mechanic of having them shield and then you having to do a strong attack was horrendous because the strong attack takes.
See, that's different. I just leapt over them and punched them in the back.
It's got such a slow startup though, because it doesn't ever tell you to jump around the back. And I did it, and the problem with the jump thing, I found that I was jumping too far away.
Yes, that's exactly. You jump too far away.
And the movements, the way it locks on is strange. So it doesn't lock onto the nearest character; it just locks onto a character.
Yeah.
It doesn't ever tell you how to change the lock button as well.
No.
I know how to do it. The game doesn't tell you.
No.
The game doesn't tell you that. I mean, I've just pressed all the buttons because I presumed that it had to do it, and I was like, oh, lo and behold, it's trigger, great. Yeah. But it doesn't tell you, and even then, it cycles. It doesn't code to the closest one.
No.
And again, this is one of those things I think, and this is going to sound real snobby, but I think as game developers, we know it's a lot because we've had these. We're making a 3D game in a minute, and so you think about these kind of issues. Like the camera shat itself a few times for me as well. Just kept getting caught and stuff.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem with the combat for me personally is if you had anyone with a pike or anyone that's like more than 2 enemies around you, they just fucking wail on you and you just die. So I got to there was a cutscene, and the what exacerbates that is the autosave is not great.
No, it's got an old style saving system.
You can save it anywhere, but the autosave is not great. So I had this issue in then we're gonna just talk sort of half spoilers, but I had an issue in the Pirate's Den where there's a long cutscene. There's a combat bit, a long cutscene with a new character called Sky, and then you go up some stairs, bit of combat, another long cutscene, and then you get jumped in a room. And in that thing, the first time I did it, the way that the enemies spawned, they all spawned around me, and I was dead in 3 seconds. Before I could heal, before I could jump out of the way, just killed me. I had to go back 10 minutes, and then go up and then save. Then I knew, right, I'll save outside the door, and then I just basically ran away as soon as the cutscene ended.
Yeah.
And it's just not a good combat strategy. That's my issue with it, because the rest of the game is, and we'll talk about it in the next section, is like near flawless. But
I will pretty echo pretty much that statement with the combat. The one thing I totally agree on is when you're jumping over a character, which is the tactic I found that worked.
Yeah.
Even though I went for a pike, so I had a much longer range. Mm-hmm. You jump too far away. You think, oh, it's fine. I'm going to hit them because there's no lock on really. It doesn't with The Witcher. When you attack someone and you're close to them, the character moves slightly. Auto towards it, so you know you're going to hit it. Because it doesn't have that mechanic in place, I'll end up wasting a few moments when I'm basically kicking the air. Character turns round, does a quick attack on me, which stuns me. It's frustrating, and Dave is very much right. When you've got a few of them around you, it's like getting gangbanged without a safe word. It's not nice.
And what's made worse is as the characters don't have traditional customization, which I think is really strange for a Bioware game. You don't really have upgradable armor.
No.
You have health, and you have the 2 of the focus and the chi, and you don't really buy new weapons.
But you use your gems.
Yeah, I do quite like the amulet system in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good little, but that's not like most of the time it wasn't like an armor buff. It was more like you just had more health.
Yeah.
So you were still taking the same amount of damage. You just had a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, they do different things. Some give you more chi, some give you more whatever the other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's not like. the enemies,
and then they alter some of your dialogue options.
Yeah, for the charm and shit. But what I'm saying is, like, so the enemy at the start of the game does as much damage as the enemy at the end.
Yeah,
it's just you have more health. That's the only difference.
Also, the block.
Well, and you can power up your.
I'm sorry, the block is crap.
The block is crap. Yeah, because it's tied to the roll button. Yeah. So in the heat of combat, you're rolling out the way instead of blocking. Which is strange to me because the black and white buttons don't really do a lot in combat. No. Also, as well, one thing, my biggest problem with playing an RPG, and I can't remember if this is an issue with Yakuza as well. When did we get to a point where all fucking RPG maps are mapped to a button instead of having to go into a menu to find it? Because it's so frustrating to me to be like, right, okay, where am I going? Right, load at the menu. Right, I can't set a hot point, like waypoint.
Oh, the waypoint. Yeah, you can't do waypoints.
It's not great. I mean, this is.
I never found that an issue. Maybe because I played it before.
And you might have had a walkthrough in front of you when you were doing it as well, Chris.
I did not.
No,
I did not need a walkthrough.
What a revelation! But yeah, have you got anything to add to combat, Chris?
Not really. I never had an issue with the combat. I thought it perfectly.
I think
but like I was saying with like Pete, like I played KOTOR like a month before this, and I felt that was
KOTOR is.
So I'm going from KOTOR to Jade Empire, and it's like, this is
again, and my same issue with when we played Yakuza is that I've just played Sleeping Dogs, which is the smoothest, sexiest combat ever, and I'm playing Paper Mario Color Splash, which again is a turn. I prefer turn-based as well. So, so that's it for sort of the biggest problem I think we'll have.
Yeah, the biggest
class we'll probably all agree on is the characters and the story.
Yeah.
Which I think is fantastic. So this is going to be major spoilers now because fuck it, it's a 13-year-old game. It does the Bioware thing, where every Bioware game has a major twist for a character. So in KOTOR, this is going to spoil all the Bioware games, okay? So KOTOR has Darth Revan, sorry. Dragon Age has I can't remember the name of the character. It's right at the beginning of the game. It's the guy that helps the king.
Saren.
Something like that. No, that's Mass Effect.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the Dragon Age Origins one.
Alistair? No.
The one.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know the dude who I mean. But they all have this twist, right? Where there's a character that you think's good and he's not. So in the game, it's your master.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I actually was surprised when I saw it. Because like you said, I don't know if you've talked about it yet, but the chapter lengths are very inconsistent. So chapter 1's 5 minutes, chapter 2 is 12 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chapter 3 to finish is like 3 hours.
Chapter 7's like 5 minutes, killed the boss.
Oh really? Is that it?
Yeah, it's straight. So like, you have this kind of like, it's very Mass Effect. So you get your team. Right? Yeah. So if you play Mass Effect 1, you know. Almost at 2 even. You go out and get your team because they're all special at something, and then you gather in one place to go to another place, and this is where story happens.
Yeah,
and that's kind of.
Then you got the dialogue tree, and I was talking
about the dialogue
tree. Talking about gems, like they give you like if you get certain ones with enough charm, you can like charm your way through.
Which is what they did. They did. It's a less RPG version of KOTOR because KOTOR had a charm system. Yeah. And the Paragon Renegade system in Mass Effect and stuff.
So does this. Like I finished the whole complete the top of the Paragon way of the open part. So I could go back to the Imperial, not the Imperial City, like the beach place, and I can go do like there's a mission there.
Tien's Landing or whatever.
Yeah, Tien's Landing. That's
and the thing is, what I'm saying is that in Mass Effect that was your charm and intimidation. That's not the case in this. They're separate things.
Yeah.
But yeah, like overall, the characters are very good. The story is very good. There's some really cool twists and turns when it starts getting into the supernatural elements near the end of the game, like the ghosts and like spoiler when you're killed and you're a ghost for a bit, and there's a really cool thing like that, and you see a cutscene from a different perspective, which I think is really cool. With the Fall of Dirge, and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff's really cool, and like that's totally a reason to play it. Your side characters, almost all of them are very good. Sakacious Zoo is a very important character if you do his dialogue properly. And if you do the Dawnstar stuff, and you guys have done the Dawnstar stuff, so you find out Dawnstar's true identity.
Not in this.
My guess is right. My guess is it his daughter?
It's Master Lee's daughter. Yeah. You only get that if you do a certain dialogue tree with Sagacious Zoo, and he comes back and saves you, and he gets killed, and all this kind of stuff. Like it does all that stuff really well, and you really feel for most of the characters. I find Sky very underdeveloped.
Yeah.
I didn't do a lot of side quests. I did some. I will say I probably did more than you did, Chris.
Yeah.
I imagine. I did almost all of them in Tien's Landing because I found that like there was one you have to help
the children,
help some children, help a woman get married.
Oh, is that the children? The ghost orphan children.
Yeah. And there's some really cool
what
stuff.
What did you do though? You buried them, I gather.
Yeah, I played pure. I always play pure Paragon.
I played Paragon when I first played it. And I think I did like every side quest. I remember playing like 30, 40 hours of that game really because I was saving up for the 360. But this time I was like,
You're 35 and you got nothing else to do.
And I only did the story, so it's like 11 hours. And I was like, I'm gonna play this game totally renegade. I could not do it. I totally could not bring myself to it.
It's not as fun as it is in Mass Effect. Like punching people in the face.
I was just a dick. All my dialogue options like, you suck, fuck you, do better with your life.
You can literally be Gal the Lesser, can't you?
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. And the endings, there is different endings and stuff. I did actually watch this morning, just to catch. And I really like the story of the game.
I was really getting into it. I didn't finish it. I played about 6 hours worth. I think I was at the end of chapter 2.
See, as soon as you've done that, you're nearly done.
Yeah, by the sound of it. I really liked, that's when the story was picking up. It was really interesting. The side quests are well developed and a bit dark actually at times, which was what I liked. One quick bit about the combat that I did find very entertaining was if you froze an enemy and you beat them, right, you kill them, sometimes they just fall down. Other times they fucking explode into a fountain of blood.
There's some weird stuff, like there's like boxes that'll hit you.
Yeah.
Like if you open a chest, it'll have like a random
traps. Random traps.
I think that's stupid because there's like no way to detect them.
Yeah, well there is with an amulet.
Oh, yeah, that could be.
It's a waste of an amulet space though.
So I mean, I'm trying to barrel through this to be honest. Ooh. So overall, is there anything before we get to the verdicts, which is the bit everyone chooses for?
Who did you use as your party mainly?
I mainly used Zoo until he got killed, and then I used Dawnstar.
I'm sure I used Dawnstar in my first playthrough. I used Silk Fox in this one because I was going to.
Oh, you mean Princess Zelda?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Literally like your Princess Zelda.
The reason why is because I was going to romance her, but then
Then you were like side quest. No way.
No, I was like, I didn't end up because you only romance 3 characters, which is Sky, Dawnstar, and Silk Fox.
Correct.
Dawnstar only. I think it's only male. The other 2 are male or female.
Correct.
Dawnstar, I'm pretty sure. I know.
I was romancing her, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah, so I didn't romance her, and I was going to, but I didn't, because you get slightly different... Because in the ending, you get, like, stories written, and then totally get different stories.
You can have Dawnstar in the final battle, if you romance her, and do a certain playthrough as well, because obviously it's revealed that she's the daughter, so extra stuff there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Did you use anyone in particular?
I liked the Demon Child, so what was that? So like basically
the
Guardian.
But
so
you can also unlock, and I didn't unlock it, Yan Zen in this is the dark version of that character in chapter 3 through dialogue options. Out of all the it shows you like silhouettes of characters you can unlock. That's one of them. There's 3 like special ones. Which one is Kang, the guy that's with Flyer, and brings you on to the other one. Did you get Death Hand?
Yes.
Did you save him, kill him? What?
I redeemed him.
I let him rest in peace as well and stuff like that, instead of joining party. But in my first playthrough, I had him join my party because
he's a cool looking dude.
He's cool.
He's got the red mask, isn't he? Yeah, Death Hand.
Yeah,
he's cool.
How did you join the Lotus Assassins?
Pardon?
How did you join the Lotus Assassins?
I can't remember.
Through the arena or being all sneaky?
I think I snuck with Zoo.
Yeah, because I did. Because I didn't close the dam.
I did close the dam.
I closed the dam as well.
I didn't close the dam, which then triggered a side quest, a different quest to get in. So I had to do something for the guy, like the politician guy.
Shen.
Shen. Later on, you can do something with him, which you couldn't do if you did close the dam. So it changes.
It's very Bioware.
Yeah, it's a Bioware game.
One of the first choices is in chapter 2. It's like you can either side with the cannibals or the foxes. I sided with the foxes.
Yeah, the mysterious
heaven.
foxes.
Yeah. I thought that was near the end of the game. I remember I can remember obviously not playing it for 13 years. And I was like, wait, this is now? I thought this was like near the end because I remember I died and come back. So that's just I was just writing down like my choices, and I presume you would have killed your master, not joined him.
Yes.
You can do,
I didn't get there, but I probably would have joined him because I was an arsehole.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the only thing I want to...
I was playing it as
before
bad.
we get to verdicts, the only thing I want to weigh is the shmup thing's cool.
Yes.
I like the shmup thing. I like shmups. So, as the resident shmup reviewer on Nintendo, and just in general making shmups all the time, it's one of my favourite parts of the game. So
it's cool that it's got like a loading game like the old...
Yeah, and you don't have to do it. It reminds me of the gummy ship in... Kingdom Hearts, you don't have to do it, but
I just like anything that kind of mixes up the genre, so like Nier Automata style, basically, changing from bits.
It just makes it feel cool, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like the Mako. Right, so we're going to get on to verdicts now. So we're going to start with Pete.
Okay.
What was your overall verdict? And we're going to do our grading system that we always do.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've got to fucking think of a decent grade. Chris, you go first.
Now, Chris is going to be the most different, so it has to be me or you first. So I'll go first.
You go first, yeah.
Okay, so I liked Jade Empire to a relatively high extent. My issues are the combat and just some quality of life age things. So the menus really annoyed me, and the fact it's not 16:9 really annoyed me. But it was, it's a fucking almost 15-year-old game, so I let it go. I'd say the characters alone, the story alone, and the bio-awareness of it all would put it quite highly. So I think I would probably give it 6 Trifish shards out of 8.
Okay.
Ooh.
So in the old money of the last week, I think it's like a C. I think it's decent, but I think it's worth playing now. But I want a HD remake to improve the flaws, I think.
Yeah. I generally enjoyed my experience towards the end of my playthrough, basically, because at the start I think it's very hard to get into. I think it's worth persisting if you are interested, just so you kind of experience an interesting environment, interesting setting.
It's not that long.
It's not that long.
No.
With that said, the combat is very janky, so just if you don't care about combat, that's fine. You can put it on easy. It doesn't penalise you for that at all. I recommend if you want to go for the game and you don't care about combat, whack it on easy, just enjoy the story.
And it's not like it's got achievements or anything.
No,
so it's not like,
exactly.
I want to play it on hard to unlock that or whatever.
Exactly. And with that said, I give it a Gal the Lesser out of a Lotus Flower.
Nice.
So
your turn, Chris.
Yeah, like I said, this time I just did the story. So
Shocking.
I know I did do one side quest. I went
Did you do it by accident?
No, I went and fought John Cleese's character because I just...
Because Sir John Cleese.
Yes, John Cleese.
Yeah. He basically plays sort of like a Monty Python character as well, like this pompous English person that accidentally lands in China, sort of thing. So I did that side quest, and I did an odd few, like I did the one with the orphan children, but then I just thought like, I gotta finish this because I didn't finish. Well, it's the only game any of us are actually finished.
That's true. That is actually very true.
That is not going to happen next month.
So I thought I really need to finish this.
So what's the grade, Chris? The most important thing everyone tunes in for.
At the start of this, I said this game was in my top 25 games of all time. I think I had it either 11 or 13. I can't.
Your top 25 is actually your top 46. We figured that out.
I thought it was 50.
Well, no.
Right. It is no longer in the top 25.
Ooh.
Damn.
But I still think it is a really good game. Like when it first came out, I remember IGN gave it 9.9. There's a huge fuss that they should have gave it.
But
a
what
10.
are you giving it?
Yes.
What's your
now
grade?
I most
Suspense is killing
back
me.
then I most surely would have agreed.
Not
that
back then.
sort of
2018.
it gets an 8 out of 10.
We got there in the end, guys. So overall, I think it was pretty positive.
Yeah.
Not the
It's
worst.
the only one where I think first game we've all been
fairly positive, yeah, really. And I mean, Pete had to take a long time to get into it. That's just life sometimes.
Yeah.
So we've done a full round of all three of us now. It's been actually less painful than I was expecting. I think it's going to get more painful. I'll be honest. I know I've already heard conversations from you two.
About some good games.
Oh, could be. So it's going to be awful. But next month it's back to me.
Yeah.
So it's Pete's birthday. Pete's going to be 36 this year.
30? Fuck you, Dave.
He's going to be 30. So
I might feel 36.
You definitely look 35. So we're going to we wanted a shorter game this month because Pete's going to be partying for 2 months because he's the Queen. He has 2 weeks for his birthday.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's just the way it is, guys. It's just the way it is. Okay, I've 10 years, and I'm actually going to go this year.
You actually are for the first time ever, Dave. You're going to make my birthday.
I'm going to have a heart attack on the Friday.
Yeah.
So we're going to play Recall next month
Yep.
on the Xbox One /PC.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun. So, thank you for watching the show.
Yes,
listening to the show.
Yeah, so they can't really watch it.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or absorbing the show.
Smelling
Smelling the show.
Yeah.
And we will see you next time.
Yes. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.